What's going on, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. It's your girl V the Notary. So let's jump right into some good old stuff about small business federal contracting. I know y'all have probably felt like I have been neglecting you. A lot of my content has been surrounding, notary related stuff and loan signing related stuff. But this video is all for you guys, okay? So and again, honestly, this is what I do most of the time in my full-time job. You guys know that I work with small businesses on a day-to-day basis and try to help them navigate federal contracting, help them get awards, find the best agencies and contracts that are most conducive of them to win contract awards, okay? So with that being said, a lot of you have been talking about starting small businesses, starting your businesses. You don't know where to start, and so again, this video is for you. Now, what are we talking about today? We are going to be talking about the top 10 federal agencies that are really supportive and are the best for small business contracting. Now, I like to kind of cite my sources and let you know, where I kind of gathered this information. I will definitely go through all of that. But the reason why this is important, you guys, is you guys need to know, well, every agency is mandated by the federal government and by the Small Business Act, okay? SBA Small Business Act, to support small businesses, to, provide the maximum opportunities for contract and for small business growth. Okay, so that, let me just put that out there. Every single federal agency in the US is required to have some sort of small business goals that are negotiated with SBA, which is the Small Business Administration. Okay, but I have narrowed down the top 10 agencies that have gotten A pluses for FY23. The federal government does everything in fiscal years. Fiscal years begin October 1st of every year and they end September 30th of the following year. Right now we're in FY24. So all of this data is for FY23, obviously, because 24 has not ended, so we can't, all the data has not been calculated for 24. So the data that I'm giving you is for FY23, okay? These are the top 10 agencies in the whole U.S., federal agencies that got A pluses on their scorecard. What is a scorecard? The scorecard, all of this data has been accumulated, I have gotten and gathered from SBA, because SBA, as we know, they are the governing body, the federal governing body for, everything small business, right? Each agency has a scorecard that they are responsible for turning in to the SBA every year, and they have grades, every single agency, okay? Some get grades as low as D's, C's, B's, and some are really stellar and they get A's. And obviously, if you're getting an A as a federal agency, that means the better you're doing in supporting small businesses, okay? And so the scorecard calculates things such as your subcontracting obligations, and obligations mean the money spent for contract dollars, right? So your subcontracting obligations, your prime contracting obligations means, subcontracting is, we kind of talked about subcontracting. Check out my video. I do have a video on subcontracting, what it is, etc., all that. But that is when you are soliciting work. Let's say you get the prime contract, the main contract, which is, the prime contract. And let's say your company provides accounting services and part of the contract is for notary services. But let's just say you don't provide notary service. You might sub that work out, meaning hire someone else to fulfill that part of the contract. Okay, so I don't want to, digress too deep into that, but I just wanted to let you know what a subcontractor does. So the scorecard encompasses subcontracting, prime contracting, how the agency supports small business events, how the agency, how they're doing with their prime contracting and women-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned, 8A, small disadvantaged business, and hub zone. Okay, so all of that is calculated, and they're graded, and each agency has a grade. And again, the higher the grade, that means the more supportive that agency is for small businesses, which in turn means you guys as small business contractors should be targeting these 10 agencies first, okay? Obviously, for example, if you are a small business and you are doing work with energy resources, then obviously you're going to want to also work with Department of Energy and, you know, look at their upcoming procurements for that are energy related. You know what I mean? Or if you are working with parks and recreation or whatever, you might want to target Department of Interior. You know, so, you know, be logical about, in addition to these 10 agencies that I'm going to give you, depending on the type of services you provide, you want to find the federal agency that also aligns with that and lock in with them. Okay, so I want to make sure you guys are doing that also, but I also wanted you to know, as a small business and as a growing small business, you want to be at the events, you want to be reaching out to the program offices, et cetera, at these 10 agencies, because they are doing the best with making sure that they provide small business contracting opportunities for small businesses, okay? All right, so with that being said, you know, it's something good when I have my little, you know, my little index card, but I'm going to tell you the top 10 federal agencies that have received an A+ scorecard, which is the highest, okay? You can't get higher than an A+ in small business contracting, okay? Number one, these are not in any particular order, okay? These are just the 10 agencies. Number one is Department of Agriculture. Number two is HUD, and if you don't know what that stands for, that is the Department of Housing and Urban Development, okay? Number three is the Department of Interior. Number four is DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security, which encompasses a lot of other subsectors, TSA, ICE, you know, a lot of other, you know, Secret Service. They're all under DHS, okay? Number five is National Science Foundation, which is a smaller agency, but you don't want to miss opportunities. So because they are making sure that they are working with small businesses, you might want to reach out to them and make sure that they're on your list to target, okay? Number six is GSA, which is the General Services Administration. I used to work at GSA when I started my federal career. GSA is a great agency. Number seven is the Department of Commerce, okay? Number eight is the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, okay? Number nine is OPM, which is the Office of Personnel Management, and OPM is like the overarching personnel agency for all federal agencies, and they kind of regulate hiring practices. They regulate, so if you're like if you provide human resources services, OPM would be a great agency for you to look into. They provide like the cost of living, you know, wages, all of that, telework agreements. So they are the overarching agency for all of that. And of course, number 10 is SBA, which is the Small Business Administration. They better be on the list, right? So, yeah, so those are the 10 agencies, you guys, that have received for FY23, fiscal year 23, an A+ for their SBA scorecard. So now that you have this information, what should you be doing? What should you make sure that you're doing? So we have talked before about how every agency has a forecast document that is available to the public. You should be looking at these 10. You should start here. Look at these 10 agencies, their forecast, see what procurements are coming down. Look at them, see the dollar value for them, depending on what type of small business you are. I could do so many videos on, you know, like really drilling down on small business stuff. You guys just got to let me know if you want that. I get a lot of interest on some videos and then I don't. So I don't really know how much I should be feeding you as it pertains to this subject. So y'all let me know. But yeah, so you should be going to these different forecast websites for these 10 agencies to see what procurements they have coming for the remainder of FY24. You know, we're now in the fourth quarter, and each fiscal year is divided into quarters. So we have just entered July into the fourth quarter of FY24. But that doesn't mean you still can't find procurements for FY24. They'll also have their procurements for FY25. So you should be seeing what types of procurements, the dollar values, when they anticipate awarding them. You guys should be seeing, depending on if you're woman-owned, service disabled, if you are an 8A, whatever type of small business that you are, you should see which procurements are set aside for the type of business that you are. And you guys should be going after those, okay? In addition to going to the agencies, their forecast websites, you guys make sure you're signed up with SAM, okay? SAM is the website that has all the information for all of the procurements for the federal government. And there's a specific dollar value that for each agency when they're required to put their solicitations or their RFQs, RFPs, you know, whatever it is, however they're soliciting their procurements. Depending on the dollar value, it's usually above $15,000. They're all filtered through SAM, okay? So you want to make sure you're registered in sam.gov. And in addition to that, let me just say this. Number one, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to get your small business certification. That's a whole other video that I'm going to do, because a lot of you guys are getting scammed out here, and I'm seeing you guys paying thousands of dollars for people to get you guys certified with SBA when you really could do it on your own for free. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about that as well, because I watch a lot of I'm in tune with what's going on in the streets, and I'm seeing a lot of you are paying, and y'all don't need to do that. But anyway, make sure you're going to SBA. If you're woman-owned, you make sure that you are, and you want to be a certified woman-owned business, go to SBA, go through the proper channels and get certified. If you live in a hub zone is one of the small business certification areas that are really hard to maintain. Thus, a lot of agencies are not able to maintain making our goals for hub zone, but it makes hub zones very, very rare, and it makes us really want to target hub zones. So if you live in a hub zone, and if you have I think it's 2/3 of your employees live in a hub zone, then make sure that you get that certification. If it's a one-man show or one-woman show and you live in a hub zone, then you definitely can make sure that you're certified. So do that. If you're service disabled, all of that, get your proper certifications, and get the ball rolling, you guys. There's a lot of money out there to be made, and there are a lot of agencies that love partnering up with small businesses and helping you guys grow. Okay, so I hope that this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions, because I'm very passionate about this particular subject, because I do it every day. I've been doing this for years and years and years. Please let me know. Drop down in the comments, you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Please share this video, because I know that there are so many people in your lives that are small business owners that are either in federal contracting now or want to start. And this video will be very, very helpful to them. So make sure you share, drop down in my comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. Okay? So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.